In this lecture, we will create the app identifier and provisioning profiles. Make sure you log in the developer.apple.com website and go to the Member Center and click on Certificates, Identifiers and Profiles. Once you do that, click on Identifiers. Now, an ID or app ID is what is used to represent a unique app, such as an Apple Watch app or an iPhone app or an iPad app. So this ID is unique in the sense that if the app is a calendar app, and let's say the calendar was called Sunrise Calendar, then if you create another app that might be a bingo app, then they cannot use the same app ID. They can use the same certificate, but not the same app ID. So let's create one app ID. How do you do this? Just click under app ID and there's a plus sign on the top right. Once you're there, give it a name. Let's say I'm going to call it Apple Watch App Test. That's the name of the app. And the value, you can just use the app ID prefix that's already here. That's the team ID that's generated for you whenever you registered as an iOS developer. And then you can give it an explicit ID. We're using reverse domain name conventions, which means that, let's say, apple.com, we would use com.apple. Now, what you should do is usually use something that you would remember. So you would do com.applewatchapp.test. That's one example, but feel free to put anything you'd like as long as you remember what you put here, and it needs to be unique. And next, you need to click on continue. Don't worry about the rest. This is for extra features that we will not need in the near future. Click on continue and submit. Once you do that, you just can click on done. If you go back to the app IDs, you will see yours. Mine is right here, Apple Watch App Test. All right. Now we need to link it to a provisioning profile. A provisioning profile basically says that one app is linked to a certificate. So one machine or one Mac OS computer is allowed to use an identifier to be able to submit the app to the iTunes App Store, so that not anyone that can steal your source code can put it in the App Store as theirs. You will need your own certificate and provisioning profile. So let's create a provisioning profile for distribution. Click on provisioning profile distribution, and here click on the plus. Once you do that, select App Store. Now, if you want to try it on your physical device, your own Apple Watch or iPhones, you need to select the iOS app development. Now, this is the one we will use for App Store. And click on continue. Now, select the app ID that we created earlier, which is the Apple Watch App Test, and click on continue. Now select a distribution profile that you created earlier. I'm going to use this one and I'm going to click on continue. Alright, now this is the name of your provisioning profile that will appear in Xcode whenever you will need to use it. So here I'm going to call this one Apple Watch Prod for production or production. Alright, and I'm going to click on generate. Alright, this might take a while. Okay, and here it is. Now click on download and you have the mobile provision file here. I want you to double click on it, and as soon as you do that, it will automatically install it in Xcode. Now you do not see it here, but just know that it has been added to Xcode by double clicking. If you're not sure, you can always do show in Finder and double clicking on it. Alright, as you can see, Xcode has come up, which means that this went inside of Xcode. Alright, this is it for this lecture.